Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365. I trust and hope you are doing well, loving yourself and those who are around you. Today, I'd like to come to you with some words of inspiration and some words of encouragement. And the message that I received from Spirit is to not be so hard on yourself just because your desires have changed. It is impossible, but some may try and attempt to reside in an environment that is constantly going through the experience of evolution, meaning everything inside and outside of us is constantly changing, whether we are aware of this or we are not aware of this, whether we choose to participate in changing things within ourselves or whether we choose not to change anything at all. Things are constantly changing around you, from the food, the air, the style of clothing, the music, what's trendy, what's not trendy, etc., etc. And so the message is for you not to be so hard on yourself because your desires have changed. When it comes to relationships, especially, Spirit is saying, whether it's romantic, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a best friend, your desires may change. You may no longer desire to be around a particular person, or group of people, and that is okay. And this message needs to be highlighted because Spirit is saying there are too many people, beating themselves up or being very hard on themselves when it comes to their desirings changing, the things that they want, the things they want to accomplish or experience in life. One tends to be so hard on themselves, and you don't have to internalize it. It's a good time at this time to accept that things are going to shift, and these things that, shift and change, some of these things are in our control and some are out of our control. And it's a good idea to learn how to be in the flow of life. And what better way to be in the flow of life, than to just accept, that your desires will change. The things that you wanted maybe as a teenager, you don't want in your 20s, or, and the things you want in your 20s, you don't want when you're 30. That's a good example. And this is involving, all people, places, and things. And so Spirit is saying it's a good idea to learn to be in the flow and to adjust whenever you feel or you are being spiritually nudged, to change something in your life, whether it's separating yourself from a relationship. You don't have to internalize it, if, the emotions and the feelings aren't there romantically, whether you're married, whether you're engaged or dating someone, you have to be honest with yourself, wholeheartedly, and sever ties. It makes no sense to stay connected to something that that is not working for you. And then as you move forward, you'll look back with resentment and regret, and that will spill out into the relationship. And that often causes lots of friction, lots of disagreements, lots of fighting, arguing, accusing each other of things. Those are those connections where people choose to stay knowing that they no longer desire that person. And when I say desire that person, I'm not speaking of their aesthetics. I'm not speaking of just the outside. I'm talking about the natural instinct. You no longer is attracted to that person's pheromone. They no longer can, get your oomph, and you no longer get their oomph. There's no connection. The energetic cord is like almost frazzled to separation. And so it's about being honest with yourself and acknowledging, hey, I've outgrown the situation, person, place, or thing, and now it's separation time, okay? And so, so Spirit is saying it's a good idea to be honest with yourself and come to the understanding and the realization that we're constantly going through change, and changes. Life is about gains, it's about losses, and it's also about, transforming your life as we move forward through and go around, time and time again. Life happens in cycles. And so it's about honesty, and being willing to let go, and being consistent, not wanting to hold on or finding reasons to cling to something or someone, person, place, or thing that no longer serves you. You're no longer interested. Maybe you signed up to take piano lessons and you were once interested in piano lessons, but all of a sudden it just doesn't interest you no more. So you wake up on your piano lesson day and you no longer want to go there. There's no reason for you to bash yourself and, become sad or wake up stumping the floor. Just say, this is the day I'm going to let the teacher know I won't be returning. And so, yes, that is the message. Source wants us to stop, badgering ourselves or belittling ourselves because our desires are changing. It is natural for us to change. We are in a environment here on the planet Earth, in the matrix, where things are constantly changing. We're always going through some form of evolution, an experience, or an observation of. So it only makes sense for us, because we're within this bubble, to change as well. It's a normal thing. So, FYI, there is nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly fine the way you are. And next time there's any person, place, or thing, that you feel that you are growing apart from, feel free to let it go and let it flow.